To many Marvel fans, the Inhumans are throwaway characters. They're the lamer version of the X-Men, and they're certainly not worthy of the live-action treatment. But as an Inhumans fan, I couldn't disagree more.
You come from nothing. You're nothing. But not to me.
So when an Inhumans live-action show came out, I was beyond excited. Finally, I would get to see Black Bolt and Medusa in live action. And then I watched the show, all 8 episodes of it, week to week.
What did it cost?
Everything.
But it's not just the Inhumans that have caused me pain over the years, since I've also been a big Fantastic Four fan my entire life. Despite the endless suffering though, I still held on to hope that one day the MCU would save these characters, that Kevin Feige would usher them into the MCU, and finally give them the respect and perfection they deserve. So when leaks claimed that Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic were going to be in the MCU as part of the Illuminati alongside Professor X, I thought all my dreams were coming true. It finally felt like my prayers had been answered, and these characters were finally going to be redeemed and given the justice they deserve on the big screen as part of the Illuminati. I couldn't believe it. I shouldn't have believed it. Because then I saw the movie.
But you can't do this to me. You know how much I sacrificed?
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, to say that I don't get it. I don't understand. What did I do in a past life to deserve this? To be given this Inhumans and Fantastic Four curse? I don't even get how they all died so fast. There were 6 of them and 1 of her.
Impossible.
Impossible. Why is that impossible?
Ultron commands you to halt. Ultron commands you.
Wanda, stop. You've possessed an innocent woman, but you can still do the right thing. Let her go.
No. No, I don't think I will.
Now take all this.
That entire edit took me 2 hours to make. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Anyway, this video is made to answer 2 questions. What was the unique weakness that each Illuminati member had that Wanda exploited to defeat them? And who was the team's greatest liability by ranking them from best to worst? Now, without further ado, let's start with number 6, Carl Mordo, the lone survivor of the Illuminati massacre. And for that reason alone, Mordo deserves to be commended, since surviving Wanda is apparently not easy. But every Illuminati member has a unique weakness, and despite surviving the attack, Mordo is no exception to this rule. So what was his weakness? Well, it was racism. To be more exact, it was Doctor Strange being racist to him. Immediately upon seeing a black Sorcerer Supreme, our Doctor Strange becomes extremely untrustworthy of him, and warns America not to trust him. It's truly disgusting to see, and I don't blame Mordo for poisoning and capturing him. And as far as weaknesses go, the urge to take down a racist while your teammates are slaughtered is something I'm okay with and understand. I'm just sad Mordo failed and was beaten by Strange. But hey, there's always Doctor Strange 3 or the next Avengers movie.
Damn. Next time, baby.
So, this brings us now to the Elder, whose death was, honestly, pretty pathetic. Don't get me wrong, it was very smart of him to engage Wanda in a mind battle, since I wouldn't recommend him to fight her in hand-to-hand combat because he's an elderly cripple who'd probably lose to a strong gust of wind. But once inside Wanda's mind, I gotta say, I wasn't impressed. He starts pulling 838 Wanda out of the rubble, and then he just freezes up and stands there as if he's accepting his death all of a sudden. It doesn't make any sense unless you really analyze deeply what's going on here. You see, Charles has an interesting history with women of a red-headed variety. It happened in The Last Stand, and then it happened again in Dark Phoenix. So I'll just say it. Professor X loves being dominated by redheads. That's his fetish, his kink, whatever you want to call it. But you're probably thinking I'm crazy, and that this doesn't make any sense, because Wanda isn't a redhead.
That is true. Actually, that's very true.
How right you are.
But what if the red mist around Wanda and her red crown together served as a close enough substitute that it tricked Charles into displaying his weakness, allowing Wanda to end him?
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
So now, maybe you're wondering, if he has such a pathetic weakness, why is he ranked at number 5? Why not higher? And the thing is, this is a community of non-judgment. We're all into some weird shit, whether we want to admit it or not. So for me to attack Charles for his redhead submission kink would be extremely hypocritical, knowing all the weird shit that I'm into. And also, something about insulting a disabled elder too hard just feels kinda wrong. So I'm gonna Murphy Charles here and give him 5th. Which now sends us to number 4.
Captain Marvel, defender of the cosmos.
All in all, Maria puts up a pretty good fight against Wanda. But ultimately, her weakness is still used to defeat her, just like Charles. So, what is Maria's weakness?
Step up your game, Scott. Break out the L word.
Lesbian?
That's right. She's a lesbian.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
I mean, I've been watching you for like a while now. It's kind of obvious.
And that's why she dies the way she does. Because rock beats scissors.
No!
You're with him! You brought him here to kill me!
No!
But she didn't think about the danger of rocks when facing Wanda, because she's a fucking idiot. So yeah, it's that simple. In order to beat Wanda, all Maria had to do was not be gay.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
And now we move on to number 3.
Blackagar Boltagun, keeper of the Terrigen Mists, the Inhuman king.
I'll just get straight to the point here and say that his weakness is being extremely submissive to those around him. He's apparently a leader and king, and yet it seems like the other members of the Illuminati just make all the decisions while he just sits there. He even willingly goes along with bad ideas, even if it kills him.
Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth.
Did we just lose? Why would you do that? We're in the end game now.
Even on Titan, he's too much of a bitch to make someone else kill Strange for him. And when he does kill Strange, he goes full Canadian to do it, saying as many sorries as the average Canadian does in a sentence. Black Bolt, you big black bitch. Never apologize. Own that shit. Own that kill. Never go full Canadian. He doesn't even escape this beta-style personality when he's killed, because when he dies, he goes out ass up, facing Peggy, because even in death, he knows it's pagan time.
Haven't you had enough? Oh, I could do this all day.
I can't believe I waited 5 years just to see the most pathetic version of Black Bolt possible. So his death was absolutely justified in my eyes. Because what do you get when you have a submissive Black Bolt who will follow the dumbest man alive?
Get what you fucking deserve!
That is destiny fulfilled.
So who's getting the silver medal? Who is here to claim second place?
The futurist, gentlemen! The futurist is here! He sees all. He knows what's best for you, whether you like it or not.
Where do I even begin with this guy?
You're wrong. You think you're right. It makes you dangerous. He also said to go for your legs.
He says someone has breached the building, which was obvious and didn't need to be said. He tries to grab Wanda instead of using one of his various inventions, which gets him killed immediately. And his greatest sin was snitching on my boy Black Bolt like that.
No!
You're with him! You brought him here to kill me!
No!
So yeah, fuck you, 838 Reed. You know, I'm actually glad you got turned into blue spaghetti. Your wife and kids are better off without your dangerous ass around, and I pray that the Reed we see in Phase 6 is infinitely better than you. And deep down, you know I'm right about everything I just said, don't you?
Yes.
Good.
Then I guess that settles it. So, who do we have left? Who is number 1? Captain Carter, the colonizer. So, her main weakness, to be blunt, is that she's British. Yes, Mordo is also British, but he's already going through a tough time fighting racism, so he gets a pass. Charles is also British, but as I said before, I feel bad attacking him too hard, so he also gets a pass.
He is just a man, and by the looks of it, not much of one, but hear me out.
Peggy is still young, not fighting racism, and not in a wheelchair. So there is, therefore, nothing to hold me back from roasting her. So, why is being British so bad? Well, apart from their incredibly annoying and dumb accent, I believe that the very presence of the British can cause a negative effect on those around them. In the Illuminati, we are made to believe that Mr. Fantastic is the smartest man alive, but we don't see that at all. Black Bolt, meanwhile, is meant to be an individual with amazing leadership abilities, but we don't see any of that either. Why? Because the British in the room colonize those skills out of them.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
And if there are any British people who feel outraged by my statements and want to make fun of my country, know that I'm already 10 steps ahead of you. No one makes fun of my igloo and maple syrup country better than I do. But back to Captain Carter, let's talk about negatives beyond her being British. let's talk about that Wanda fight.
Come here, cretin. You want a piece of me? You want a piece? No! I want two!
So, first of all, for having a jetpack ready to use, she doesn't really use it at all. Also, she said she can do this all day, when she really couldn't, and when it was actually night when they fought. And finally, she didn't dodge the shield when Wanda threw it at her. You know who would have dodged it? Steve Rogers, or Bucky, Sam, hell, even John probably.
That shield doesn't belong to you. You don't deserve it. My father made that shield.
That is destiny fulfilled.
And with that, we've finally arrived at the end of the video. What a journey that was. So, when can we finally expect a good version of Mr. Fantastic? Well, my hope is 2024 with the new Fantastic Four movie. But we've been let down so many times before with the Fantastic Four. So we'll see. As for Black Bolt though, we'll get a good live action version of him when we get one of Taskmaster and Gore the God Butcher. In other words, never.
Fake laugh, hiding real pain.
Yeah, 2022 hasn't been kind to the Inhumans. It's really enough to make any Inhumans fan cry. Which is what I'm gonna go do now actually because of that.
Sub, share, smash that like button. The Holy Trinity.
I shall miss you, my friend.